Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. More like Indiana Jones and the Great Game. Maybe I need to work on my jokes. Anyway, play the theme tune. No, the other one. No, the other one. So the last Indiana Jones game I played was Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis, all the way back in the late 90s. The classic and excellent point-and-click adventure game, and up until now, the only Indiana Jones game I have played.
All right, Jones, how you gonna find that statue and all this junk?
And in the video game world, Nathan Drake kind of took over that role as the wisecracking good guy archaeologist.
Enjoying yourself, pal?
Oh yeah, you're a comedian.
But seeing as Uncharted has put a strong full stop at the end of that story, there was a gap, and there was only one right answer to take it over. When the game was first announced, much like many others, I didn't really like the fact it was in first person. There was something about that was off-putting. Playing a game like this in first person, it just didn't seem right. But after many people with whom I trust and respect said the game was actually really good, well, I had to just jump on it. It's a really good, fun, well put together adventure. It may be rough around the edges in some areas, but that doesn't matter. It's a brand new game, but it feels familiar. There's a nostalgic element to it, but it is also fresh. And it's really refreshing to play a game like this. So here's just a list or a ramble of things that I really loved about this game. Starting with, well, the start. There's no big establishing nonsense in the intro. I was worried that this game was going to make me play as Indiana Jones, the teacher, for like an hour, and I'd have to like mark homework or deliver a report to somebody or go have a meeting with this teacher, you know? All that slow build up that some games have to try and create atmosphere. This game? Nah, go for it. You know that classic intro? Yeah, we're doing it. And once that's done, boom, straight in to the main plot. Beautiful. No messing, no fluff. Loved it. And within the first 20 odd minutes, I kinda understood why it was in first person. This probably isn't the reason why, but I just remember playing it and exploring and having this small sense of realization of, oh, if this was in third person, I'd be comparing this to Uncharted. But by making it a first person game, it gave the game its own identity. It felt like Indiana Jones. Another element that makes this game so indie is the use of lighting. The way the light falls on some characters' faces, that proper Spielbergian look. Is that even a word? Spielbergian? But that, you know, that proper Spielberg lighting. And the music and the sound effects, it was so John Williams. They really took time to research and watch and understand what makes Indiana Jones Indiana Jones. And it really, really shows in this game. Just like in the films, in the game, Indy is a fountain of knowledge. Most puzzles and or clues are usually deciphered by Indy because he happens to know the dead language is in, or he's able to piece together the foreign text because it's familiar to another language he knows. It's very, very Indy. And as I mentioned in previous videos, I'm a huge fan of puzzle games, and this was just, right up my street. Little small visual clues, sound effects clues, lighting clues. It's all very filmic. I think that's a good word to use. It's a very filmic adventure game. When you find an old tomb or a cave with this impressive statue, the score does that. And it gives you that real adventure chills, you know? Yes, we're doing something feeling. And the use of the notepad as well, not just as a handy reminder of what's going on, but the added information it gives you, the little small history of people, little extra history or information of the area that you're in, and more details about the object you pick up. It's a really intricate notepad. And the map, the map. There's no on-screen map in this game. You just use the map that Indy has scribbled in the notebook. And at first I was a little bit unsure about it, but as the game went on, I loved the fact I had to look down at the map. It just made it more personal, you know? It made it a little bit more immersive. And the puzzles are nice, you know, nothing too out there, nothing too difficult either. You can make the game easier or harder, but the middle of the road difficulty, it isn't too outrageous. There's a nice balance of video gameness and Indiana Jones being an absolute legend.
I think I'm starting to get the hang of this.
On the note of being an absolute legend, Indy's punches in these games are so on point. The combat is pretty simple, but I guess that's a reason. Indy is an established action hero to some level, but he's known for his quick wit,
Sweet dreams, fella.
puzzle solving, and his knowledge, not his Rambo style, I'm gonna mow down an entire population of Italy with a Gatling gun. And it feels like how it did in the films, that thud punch, you know, that one punch, that knockout punch, that Indy punch. It's satisfying to do the first time, the 5th time, and the 100th time. And of course, the legendary, classic Indiana Jones whip. You can't be Indiana Jones without that whip. Being able to like pull guns from enemies or to distract them, but it's used mostly with the platform inside of the game where you can swing across ledges or get to higher areas with your whip. And this is a stealth game at heart. It's a very Bethesda stealth, you know, it's very stealth light, so to say. The levels are built around not being detected, and you can either be very, very quiet and hunt Nazis or find some clothes to disguise yourself and fit right into the environment. You do have a gun, and there are some action gun shooting set pieces, but I'd say roughly 80% of the game is either puzzle solving or sneaking, and I loved it. The emphasis here is on the punching, the whip, and most importantly, the object you pick up so you can bonk people across the head with. But this isn't a solo Indy adventure. Indy has friends with him to help him along the way. And honestly, they're all pretty decently good. The female lead is the one who's with you for most of the game, but not right from the start. One thing this game does do, and I really liked it, is at the beginning section of the game, it is just you. And I think that's a really clever move because it gives you the chance to get yourself familiar with Indiana Jones. If you are someone who has never seen or interacted with this character before, it gives you a really good solid foundation who Indy is, his personality, before they team you up with a companion for the rest of the game. And they're not annoying. I don't know why. In some games, the side characters just talk all the time. And when the puzzle starts, within the 5 seconds, they can't go, hey, have you tried pressing this button before? Yes, I'm looking at you, boy. The game is set around Indy being this clever archaeologist. He is the main character. And the side characters are there just to add to that. They're the side characters. You know, they walk around the room muttering, I wonder what all this is, or what happens here. But it gives you a moment to just look around and to be able to figure out what you need to do without being next to an annoying character. I'm still looking at you, boy. And of course, you can't have a good guy without having a bad guy. And this bad guy is just that. He is a dick. He is an A star dick. No backstory, no tragicness with him. He's an asshole, and you want to beat him. And it's the classic black and white, evil, good story. And of course, you don't feel bad about it because he's a Nazi.
Better than being a Nazi.
And then, of course, each area has the minor characters that are attached to that one area that gives you information or helps Indy in some way or so forth. And again, they are there just to add information, but they are also there to give you side quests, other quests that you can do. And this game is full of these little side quests, and they don't only add information to the main plot line, they also flesh out character backgrounds, and they give you reasons to explore that area. And you really should explore the area. But exploring the areas like the Vatican and so on is really, really cool and interesting and really, really worth it. There's a lot of attention to detail, a lot of things for you to pick up and collect. You get a camera that can help you with getting clues on the puzzles, but it can also be used to take pictures of the environment, and it gathers more factual information. You get to read actual newspapers, news articles about the upcoming war. There's Nazi propaganda posters, and there are NPCs just going around doing their thing, just like they're movie extras. It all adds atmosphere and somewhat realism to this game, and it fleshes it out, and it makes these areas not just a fetch quests or follow the main plot line. It gives the areas almost like a life of their own. And every single time you restarted the game, the startup menu is where you left off. I don't know why I found that so cool, but every single time you start the game, the background is where you started off, and you press continue and you're back in the game. And I just thought that was such a cool little trick. I do like to use the phrase popcorn game for these games you can just sit back and absorb. It's not too deep, it's not too serious, it's fun. And this is one of those games. This is a proper popcorn game. You sit in your sofa, your feet up, you got your snacks, and you just play and you just enjoy. There's a sense of familiarity with this game. Everything feels almost like you've experienced it before, but it's all new and it's all fresh. It may have the classic Indiana Jones music and the sound effects and the camera work and so on, but it's packaged in a well-made, enjoyable, brand new game. It added an extra layer to the world and adventure of the already established Indiana Jones world, and it works so well. It's so nostalgically new, and I genuinely cannot wait for more. Hey, if you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching the video. I really enjoyed this game. But hey, if you were like me, if you're one of those people who are skeptical to begin with this game, but then you picked it up, what do you think of it? Did you like it as much as I did? I genuinely think this is one of those games where it goes against all the negative AAA news that we're having recently. It's just such a good, solid game. But anyway, whatever your thoughts about this game, leave a comment down below. Let's get a conversation going. I'd love to hear what other people thought about it. But until the next one, bye.